sometimes you think about storybooks, or you practice this in your basement when you're young, and you'd go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you'd shoot this last second shot, and hopefully it goes in. Well, that happened to me. My name is Bill Hanisch, and the reason I'm holding this ball, back in 1972, I made a last second shot to put our team into the Minnesota State High School League state tournament. I went across half court about 4 or 5 steps and let her fly, and she just went right through the net, and it was just bedlam. I thought that I'd actually tied the game, and when I saw everybody running out onto the floor and was just going wild, at that point I knew it was something different, and I looked up the scoreboard, and we had won by 1 point. The gym was packed. A lot of the community was there, all of our fan base was there, and we were throwing the ball around in the gym, and they just said, shoot it again, and I shot it again, and it went right through the basket. So things were really going well that night for us. I've always thought to myself over the years, you know, if it wouldn't have gone in, you know, then I probably would have been kind of the GOAT. But since everything worked out really well, and it did go in, let's just keep it like that. Coach Beach was a great coach. We had him since he was a B squad, when he was coaching B squad. So he had us for a number of years, so he got to know us really well. He got to know our personalities, how to coach us, what to say to us, what not to say to us, how to push us. I wouldn't have been in any place with this if it wasn't for my teammates. My teammates were the ones that got us there. I was the one that got lucky to throw the ball in the basket. But my teammates played so hard and scored so many points that they put me in a position to make this shot. In 1971, you got to remember that we were runner-up to the state championship game, and we lost to Melrose. So we had a lot of ambition to be as good as the team in '71. So when we came in our senior year, we had a lot of goals to set and stuff, but we had kind of a rough year. The reason we got going good was after the Austin Packer game, which we had a little talk it out session in the locker room afterwards, and we decided, well, maybe it was time to start playing some basketball the way we could. And you know, we went on a 10-game winning streak at that point, and the only time we lost after that then was to St. James, who was the eventual state champion of the whole tournament. So we were around 500. It was myself, and Scott Broughton was a guard. Kevin Bombach was a forward. Joe Johnson was our center, and Terry Linner was a forward. Terry and Scott were very good shooters. Joe was a great defender and a great rebounder in the middle. He was our big man. Kevin was kind of our forward slasher, who would go to the basket and have very good nights scoring. And I was just kind of the guy that ran the team, kind of the general on the floor, kind of breaking the presses, bringing the ball up the floor. And it wasn't my job to score a lot of points. It was my job to distribute the ball and get it to the people who could really shoot it well. It was a lot of work for me. I'm not the tallest guy in the world, and I had to use the talents that I had with some speed and quickness and be a team leader. And so, you know, you got to kind of figure out what your spot is, what your role is on a basketball team, and try to go from there. But for young people, just keep working hard. The main thing is to enjoy the sport that you're in. If you enjoy it, keep playing it, and just work hard. Well, when I made that shot, you know, it takes a while to absorb actually what happened to you. It took years to finally figure out exactly how much that meant to the community, the people, the band, the students, the community, the busloads of people that would come down on a Friday night and watch a high school basketball team. very exciting game against Waseca. As the time goes on, I get more appreciative of why did this ever happen to me and not somebody else. That was the scene before Bill Hanisch, alias a knight in shining armor, rammed home a two-handed push shot from 30 feet with 2 seconds left in the game to provide the Wingers with a thrilling 70-69 win over Waseca in the Class A Region 1 championship game before a standing room only throng of some 4,100 spectators at the Mayo Civic Auditorium Thursday night. Waseca enjoyed a 69-68 lead when the Wingers' Scott Broughton, who was responsible for keeping Red Wing in the contest, fouled out with 8 seconds showing on the scoreboard clock. When the Blue Jays' Jerry Boomeister stepped to the free throw line, it looked like the end of the trial for Beach's crew. Then Dame Fortune smiled on the Wingers, who must live right. Boomeister missed the opportunity to pull the Jays in front by 2 points. The faulty shot was picked off the boards by Kevin Baumbach, who immediately cleared the ball to Hanisch. The 5'4" senior guard, who doesn't look strong enough to gun from 30 feet with any degree of accuracy, raced across the time stripe for the last-ditch shot. Hanisch's shot left his hands with 2 seconds left on the clock and never touched iron. The ball rippled through the net after the final buzzer went off, leaving Waseca coach Manny Beckman shaking his head in disbelief and as bedlam broke out. The Blue Jays' Jack Gray, the 6'5" center who riddled the Red Wings defense for 43 points, trotted off the court, his customary beady-eyed expression showing no signs of disappointment. It was just a facade, though. Red Wing, with Broughton canning 4 out of 5 field goal attempts and totaling 12 points, jumped to a 21-13 lead after 1 quarter. Even though Gray meshed 14 points in the second quarter, the Wingers held a 36-31 lead at the intermission. Gray worked against Joe Johnson until the Wingers' 6'4" center was saddled with his third foul with 5:38 left in the second period. Beach yanked Johnson at that point, replacing him with 6'1" Jay Baumbach. We were down by 1 point, and it was after a missed free throw, and the ball, I think Kevin Baumbach rebounded the ball. He threw it to me about on the top of the court, and I went across half court about 4 or 5 steps and let her fly, and she just went right through the net, and it was just bedlam. And back then we didn't have 3-point baskets. It was a 2-point basket, and we had won by 1 point.